This winter set thriller is definitely going to keep you on the edge of your seat and give you chills in more than one way. I'm going to update you as I read this book. But we're going to go inside and read this book because it's really cold out here. Is he actually a good guy or is he a bad guy? Because I can't see through him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The entire book, which is just such a fun trope to have, where it's like secrets slowly start to unravel and all of this. Who's trying to just be loved by becoming what, like, wait, I think it's this. I'm so convinced this is gonna happen and this is who the person is and this is what happened, but it's not what happened. I'm excited to read this book. I don't often read kind of like thriller, mystery, horror-ish kind of stuff. I do every once in a while. And so this one is actually a ARC, so an advanced reader's copy of A Killin' Cold from my Book of the Month subscription. So very excited to be reading this. I always feel very fancy when I have a book that hasn't been published in stores yet. I'm like, oh, look at me, so fancy. Yeah, but honestly, this describes January, A Killin' Cold. It is so cold right now and just like bleh outside. So this seems like the perfect book to cozy up while it snows outside. So from my understanding, this book follows our main character Theodora, aka Theo, and she's dating this guy who's like the perfect guy, head over heels, and she's finally gonna meet the family. And the family lives in like this cabin in this like snowy kind of area, and so he takes her to go there, and she starts to get a bit of like deja vu. She's like, have I been here before? Like, why does this feel familiar? And she starts getting, I don't know if it's like letters or if it's family members telling her like not to trust this guy and like to get out. But yeah, there's some kind of mystery going on with that. So she also does not remember a lot of her childhood, and she finds like a childhood picture of like herself in this home. So I don't know if maybe she was kidnapped by somebody's dad or grandpa or grandma or someone and lived in that home. I have no idea. It sounds really creepy. Kind of getting a bit of goosebumps thinking about it. Hopefully it's not a book that like makes it hard for me to sleep. But yeah, I think that the mystery sounds interesting. I like that it's short and sweet. Those are my favorite types of mystery thriller books. They're just bam, 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 one bam and done. Yeah, but I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's crack this book right open. Oh, but wait, we know the drill. This has a dust cover and that has to come off before I read the book. Now, this book being blue and yellow, I'm going to have to guess that it's going to be a blue and yellow book, and it's going to have the January Book of the Month 2025 little stamp on it. So let's see what it says. Oh yeah. I honestly expected it to be bigger. I thought it was going to be blue here and yellow here, but I got the colors right. Oh yeah, this is my first 2025 book. So yeah, without further ado, let's read this book for real now. So I'm now a little bit more than 100 pages as well as halfway through A Killin' Cold, and here are my thoughts so far. This is a very fast-paced book, which I'm really enjoying. Like, I am like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Because there's definitely so much to Theo's character. Her name isn't even Theo. She doesn't even know her birth name. And then like, she has these text messages coming in being like, hey, don't trust this Connor guy. Don't go to this Connor guy's like cabin in the woods kind of thing. And she's like, I'm gonna go do it. And so she goes to do it, and Connor himself honestly seems really, really sweet though. And I really do hope that he's actually as sweet as he appears to be, because he just seems so nice and gentle and golden retriever. But who knows, like, you never know, especially when it comes to like a psychological thriller like this. It's like, is he actually a good guy or is he a bad guy? Because I can't see through him. I just see him as this cute, perfect boy. And yeah, so we'll see. And the family dynamic is really interesting as well, because they're a pretty big, rich family, and they all have their secrets, which is just such a fun trope to have, where it's like secrets slowly start to unravel and all of this. And there's this guy, one of the brothers, Trevor, and he seems to be the one who's like causing drama and all of this stuff. So like he's constantly getting in trouble, being places he's not supposed to, sharing information with Theo and other characters at like what's supposed to be a nice family dinner. And it's also interesting because Theo has no idea what the first 4 years of her life was like. And so she's starting to get memories and she's like, I think I might have been here when I was younger, but like how? That doesn't make any sense. And so that's interesting. And then she's also trying to be the perfect person in this place where all these secrets are coming out. And she obviously doesn't want people to find out about her past, which we as the reader, we don't even know. We're getting little hints about it. And she mentions things, but it's kind of leaving us like guessing, which I think is really fun. And she did not have a good upbringing. Like whatever happened to her first 4 years, she has no idea. But then she was adopted by this super, super strict family who just, they weren't a good time. They didn't let her do anything. They hurt her, like all of this stuff. And so it's really interesting as she's trying to understand like what does love mean to her and why is she trying to find this perfect way like to love somebody, because she's never really experienced it. So she's a very interesting character who's trying to just be loved by becoming what whoever is like interested in her wants her to be. And it's like sad and it's tragic, but it's also like so realistic. And I think that she's a very realistic character and very interesting to want to know like what happened, because we'll occasionally get these kind of references about stuff that happened that we have no idea what happened. We're slowly starting to see some stuff, but there's more to it. So I'm very excited to see like how it's all gonna come together. And I feel like I'm not even gonna be able to guess like what has happened so far, but I'm going to try to guess. And this is not a spoiler because I have not finished the book yet. So I'm gonna guess and give you my theory. So my theory is that Theo is actually the daughter of this like uncle guy. So like her boyfriend's dad's brother. I think she might be his daughter. I don't know. That's kind of like, that's just my guess. Which if that's the case, that's like really awkward because like that would mean she's related to Connor. Yeah, so I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting. He just like, the uncle just seems like such a good guy and he seems to know stuff and they just seem to like jive really well. So I'm wondering if maybe she's his kid and that's why she was there in the cabins. And then it was like, he had a divorce or something, and then like maybe his ex-wife is having an affair with the dad who's no longer around. The dad died. They say he fell off a roof, but I think that he killed Theo's mom and I don't know, kidnapped Theo or something, or maybe kidnapped both of them, like kidnapped the mom and Theo and like kept them in that cabin for a very long time and just had them like hidden there until maybe one day there's like this character with this dog named Duchess, and I think maybe he's involved. I think maybe he killed the Liam guy and helped the mom and the daughter escape, but then maybe the mom dies when she's escaping and that's why the daughter ends up going up for adoption and ended up with the other family. That's my theory. It's very complicated and there's a lot of just like complicated family drama happening in here, but I'm not going to spoil that. I want you to read it to find out. But yeah, that's my theory. We'll see if it makes sense. I really hope she's not related to Connor though. Yeah, maybe like her mom had her with somebody else and then she started to date the uncle and then ended up with Connor's dad. I don't know, but either way, I just don't want her to be related because that will kind of like mess up even more stuff. But that would be a big scandal, so who knows? Like there's scandals happening in the book. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to read A Killin' Cold and I'll update you probably when I finish the book because this is definitely a smaller book. So usually I'd update you at the 100 point, but that's pretty much the halfway. So I'll just update you when I finish the book. So I will see you then with my final thoughts. I just finished A Killin' Cold, and my goodness, the twists and turns and the complexities between like the family and what they're all trying to hide, I thought was just like really well done. And I was like literally on the edge of the couch like, wait, I think it's this. I'm so convinced this is gonna happen and this is who the person is and this is what happened, but it's not what happened, and it just like takes you in for a whirlwind of adventure and mystery, and it was just like so good. I think something that I also really liked was just the setting of this book, which if you see outside, obviously, it's like very wintry, very cold, and they're all stuck in these like cabins in the middle of nowhere with the snow, and more stuff is like unraveling, and Theo is like kind of freaked out. She's like, what's going on? She's slowly getting her memories back as she's there and trying to put together the pieces, but because she only has like fragmented memories, it leads us down these different kind of pathways of like, is this right? At one point she's trying to figure out like, was the scarf blue? Was it red? Like, I have no idea. And she's like, I can't remember. And like, there's just like small details like that I thought were really cool. And I am such a sucker for like big rich family with big dark secrets trying whatever they can to not let people learn about these secrets. I love that kind of thing, and this book did it so well. It makes you not trust anybody, and like you can't really trust Theo either, because like she is trying to remember stuff but she can't quite remember stuff, so she's a bit unreliable in that way as well. And then like people are giving her conflicting information. Everybody has some kind of secret that they're trying to keep secret, and I thought it was really fun, and I love the length of this book. I think sometimes when it comes to psychological thrillers and stuff, I find them being a little bit too long for my liking, and I just get too overwhelmed, I think, is honestly my issue with them, because I love psychological thrillers, but if it makes me too nervous and too freaked out and not something I can finish quickly, I kind of steer away from them because it's just too much. But yeah, lengths like this, like when I read Dearest, that was horror, that was a very similar length to this. I think this is just like, I think I just found the perfect length for me when it comes to psychological thrillers, and that was just something I really loved about this book. And the writing of this book was really good too, and like the way that everything was handled and how it all played out, and how you're literally just going whoop, 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 whoop the entire book, and it was really good. I really had a great time. I'm really happy I was able to read this book. So today we're going to be awarding A Killin' Cold a total of 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was like my all-time favorite book of all time, but it's definitely one that I recommend. Very fast-paced, very fun, a lot of complicated family drama and trauma. So if you like drama and trauma, definitely check out this book. I couldn't figure out who did what, and I really liked that. I love that I was just like, my mind was being blown constantly throughout this book. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the second book in her adult Princes of Sin series. I read her first one, Throne of the Fallen, I believe it was early last year, and I picked up this one towards the end of last year, and I'm just like, I'm so excited. I love her writing. It's so good. I'm just such a big fan of her. I love her so much. So yeah, this is what I'll be reading next. So if you're interested in watching me read Throne of Secrets or any other book that happens to be on my never-ending TBR, definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification. That way you get notified anytime a new video comes out. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like button. And I am a YouTube partner, so that means you can become a member of the I'm Talking Waffles channel. That means you get special member privileges. There are different tiers, so check those out. It's all linked in the description. And all memberships will go towards me getting more books that we can review and talk about on this channel together. So if you haven't done that, check it out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!